Good day. Thank you, beautiful people. Paraphrasing Muhammad Ali, beekeeping can sting like it's bees. However, life can be as sweet as honey. And what I would like to do to begin this is for you guys to give yourselves a hand. Let me tell you why. I don't know if you've ever watched one of the TED Talks by Miss Watler Speech. It's called The Perils of Bees. This community is actually contributing to help reverse the impact in our ecosystem, in our food chain, by being able to maintain and prolong beekeeping, right? And some of those things that Malva talks about, we talk about the deserts of monochrome farming. We talk about some of the perils that bees go through. Maybe you do, maybe you don't know. There are more than 20,000 species of bees. We tend to operate with a small percentage, which is the honeybee, which is what brought me here today. Also, if you watch Mrs. Spivak's TED Talk, you will understand that we as beekeepers face about 30% or thereabouts loss in our colonies every year. That beekeeping has been in a decline for years. These are serious, impactful things that affect our food chain, our environment, and our own lives themselves. So your contribution to what we're doing has a serious impact in how we can reverse this. Why am I here? My younger brother is a degreed agriculture and agronomy engineer. He's a beekeeper. You may or may not know him. He speaks at many of these conferences. And the reason I'm here with him today is because stuck with him on a car one winter for a family Christmas reunion, I saw him receive many calls about how to help with beekeeping in the off-season and for the season. As I drove with him and I realized the impact, my young brother, who I love dearly, several years ago started a business with his wife, now deceased, called Watler's Wholesome Goods. They intended to sell bees and beekeeping byproducts to the general community. Unfortunately, she died. He's now alone trying to pursue this dream. My brother Charles actually struggles with being able to maintain his operation. He drives, he has 2 jobs, primary source of income, his normal government job with the FDA. Alternate source of income, his side hustle is beekeeping. His passion is beekeeping. Now just imagine if he could focus on pursuing his passion with less pain and less strain, which is probably some of the issues you all face here today. That's my driver. So let's say I'm a beekeeping accidental entrepreneur. Who am I? I'm an entrepreneur, an inventor, a technologist, a problem solver. But it's not about me. In being able to try to help my brother achieve his goal and trying to assess what he does, I looked at him and I said, you know, when you take your beehives for pollination and they're miles away, sometimes hundreds of miles away, how do you know what's going on? How do you know things are okay? What do you do to be able to ensure that things are right? He goes, I don't. He goes, some people use hunting cameras to be able to detect motion, you know, and there may be other things out there, but if there was something, perhaps things could be better. And I go, my brother, I love these kinds of challenges. And so I'm going to create something for you that can enable you to have a more comfortable life, that we somehow can switch from your primary source of income that's just that, to your passion that becomes your primary activity, right? Many of you, we started a process of surveying you, maybe some of you in this audience have actually answered our questions. And the whole purpose of that survey was to not only use my brother as the anchor to this solution, but to actually reach out to a wider beekeeping community to understand how can we help everyone else improve their efficiency and productivity for their delivery of service. Some of you have said in this survey, we would like more time. Others have said, gee, that sounds like a good idea. I do not know how it fit in. Others have said there is underinformation or misinformation in the beekeeping world. The solution I propose to my brother that I'm hoping I can have you guys utilize as well is an apiary monitoring and management system. It's intended to be able to help you do early detections for when such things as colony collapse disease, which you are familiar with, which is, one of the causes of our 30% loss of colonies every year, or mites, or your queen bee just decides that I'm packing it up and I'm going somewhere else, right? How can we detect these kinds of activities inside of our colonies? And the whole purpose of this device is to be able to ensure that you have an early warning, an early detection mechanism, as opposed to the maybe once a week or twice a week that your schedule may allow you to go and look at these fields. I'm here today to tell you we can provide that solution for you, right? And if you have a problem understanding how this would work, just imagine your remote control for your television. Hey, isn't it nice to just have that beer in your hand or whatever you like and sit from your desk and just see the thing switch to whatever you love? That's wonderful, isn't it? Yes. Would it be nice to be able to get some data that tells you what's happening in your hives? That can impromptu, instead of waiting for the once in a blue moon to go see them, to be able to improve your schedule and your management of your hives. More so, some of you may be familiar with the child monitoring systems we put to track our kids when they're in their bedroom and we're elsewhere in the house. Now translate that concept to managing our apiaries and our hives. Because of the contribution of bees to our environment, to our lives and our health, wouldn't it be wonderful to be able to be more efficient at managing this process? We offer that solution to you. We would like the opportunity to work with you to be able to help improve your efficiency. Wouldn't you all agree we would have better time? Isn't time a wonderful thing? There's not much of it on the clock. When it comes, it goes. Can't put it back. Time's gone, right? Therefore, let's try to get back some time in our lives. Let's try to be able to switch the curve up from having a decline in our bee population by us having to react sooner to be able to protect our hives and recover them before we hit that 30%. Let's try to have that number, right? Let's try to get to a better place in the service we provide. And I can help you do that. If you actually were to follow and send me a text message to the number on screen with your email address, I will make available to you a calendar to book some time for a strategy call with me and enlighten you as to how we can help. And if you were to do that today during this presentation, I assure you, I will take that 30% failure rate of our hives and convert it to a 30% price cut in the service that we offer. So please, I thank you for your time. Let's look forward to improving our lot and to continue to create a better world. Thank you.